Right? I don't know, LAVALINE. What do you guys think about that? I don't know, it's an idea. I'm Andreas. This is Brittany. Hey, look, we got it to work. How's it going, Brittany?
It's going very well.
Well,
I
guess.
Working.
I mean, objectively.
I can't see anything. I couldn't hear the LAVALINE intro, but I'm thinking it was pretty amazing. I don't know. I saw.
I thought it was cool. The first time I tried to play, it was a huge glitch. It was just like glitch.
It shut down.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that was kind of hard to make. So what we're trying to do is get this whole like. There's just like this thing here. Look at this. Can you see this? I mean,
now I can see it if I watch it from here.
If I just pull that way.
No way.
Yeah, there you go.
Stop it. Stop it. Whoa.
That's really cool.
How far did that go? It's like, it's coming back around.
Yeah.
And I'm watching on my phone and everybody, wow.
Yeah.
They really get a full.
So, but like, it was hard to get this to work. And so we made like 3 streams. So I don't know how many, like people are going to even like believe this stream exists or think it's wrong.
So I'll look there. There we go. And if I have... I can do live chats like this or from my computer, but
That's
I don't
true.
want it to break the stream down. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All
but
right.
this is Brittany, guys. Brittany, hi, say hello again. So
hello.
Brittany's like you've seen her on Cast Castle, and she also had the TikTok channel before the Espionage Act or whatever's going on with TikTok, right? But the what's it called, the Real Truth Fairy?
I was the Truth Fairy, the only Truth Fairy.
The only
actually,
Truth
and then
Fairy.
I had to become the only Truth Fairy too. But
Yeah.
I got canceled twice.
I mean, so you made some videos that were like you took
truthy.
Yeah, so you were taking fake news. Tell me what you did.
I took some of the fake news stories throughout the last, I don't know, since the 80s probably, and just cut highlights, and people started to share them and watch them, and they would get, I don't know, 50,000 views was the top one that I had, and then I did bloopers, like news bloopers, some of the best bloopers you can imagine. I went over and I would post those, and I had just a combination of those, and then it was like the whole Biden something.
Yeah, so it was like
and
the
then
pedo
I got
thing.
deleted without question for, what was it, inappropriate content.
Yeah, but then like
So-
a week later, everything was proven to be real and everything was fine.
With
And
that
so-
one, but it still deleted every video that I'd had. So, and I was gonna get monetized, so that was kind of the bummer.
Yeah, it is a
And I
bummer.
hate, like, TikTok is hard. I don't really go on it, but I was just trying to post truth vids and get the word out. To
Yeah,
that.
I don't like TikTok that
Yeah.
much though, because like I was talking to these people, and basically TikTok is, TikTok's this idea that you can just buy an app like Vine or remember Vine in the old days? There was this app that you get like 6 seconds of a person's life on a mobile phone. Not very useful. Twitter bought it or owned it or did something else with it. You know what I mean? But TikTok, the Chinese government needed something to spy on people, and here's like what people want to do. So you give them a little thing that they're willing to do. What are you willing to do for 30-second videos or whatever? And then that way they can be inside your... It's the same thing with like Nintendo Go. Just recording people moving around all the time.
See, but so like Pine Gap, etc. There's the 2 big institutions that are always doing that already. So any one of the subgroups that's doing that, I haven't really worried about since researching all that. Kind of everything's being recorded.
Dude,
so it's
where's
kinda
that...
like
do I have the Pine
dance
Gap
with
thing?
it?
Let me see if I can
No,
find
I don't
that.
know. I
Hold
printed
on.
that one. And I kept it in my lazy
Rollerball.
Susan.
Where's the rollerball window? I don't
Ooh,
know.
that is. So we're gonna talk news, or we're gonna talk volcanoes, or a little bit of both.
A little bit of everything. So here's the thing. First off, because you mentioned Pine Gap, like, what did you were talking about Pine Gap? This is
You
Pine
were
Gap.
talking about recording things.
Yeah, but like, what is Pine Gap? Because not everybody knows what Pine Gap is. Tell them about Pine Gap.
That's probably the worst thing to talk about on your YouTube channel to maybe get it canceled. But
Aw.
well, Pine
Aw.
Gap. If you find some of the documents on it, which I knew we were going over that, I would have my Pine Gap documents, and I can maybe retrieve them later if you need. But it's run by like the CIA and all like military.
Yeah.
And it's in Alice Springs.
Was this tribute to Nikola Tesla?
It's in Alice Springs, and they get half of like the world's data from like email, phone call, like everything is recorded throughout all of time. So if they can go back and be like, what did Brittany say on
And there's a Netflix
August,
show.
whatever, in the year 2012 or whoever. I don't know how long they have been recording or running things, but they get half, and then there's a place I think in Africa that gets the other half of all of the, I don't know, recorded data from our cell phones. I'm
Yo, I
sure someone
see-
listening
I see
or
Amoro.
watching would know.
Amoro's here. Say hi.
No,
Amoro. Hi, Amoro.
Nathan.
That's pretty
Hello.
cool.
I mean, MRO.
Yeah, we gotta get you up on this show.
Maybe we should do a call in for sure. Nathan should call in, and we can try and get him.
Dude, it is so hard to
Nathan,
get
can you call in later
to work.
if I make Andreas get the call in thing work?
I'm trying to
Okay.
get this whole thing working.
Sorry,
there's like a
sidetrack.
board here with like a bunch of switches.
Yeah, they can see it with the camera.
It took a long time to.
He could call on a Facebook, and we could do speakerphone and make it look like it was an old radio call.
Yeah, I know that's what
But
you
I
want.
just
That's
gave
what
that
that's what
away.
you do want, don't you? Okay, so here's the
Not
other
right
thing,
now,
really
but
quickly.
yes.
The
Hi,
Rollerball.
Ethan.
Rollerball did come out as a Prime premiere thing. So we talked about
When
Rollerball.
did Rollerball come out as a Prime premiere?
You know what I mean? So we talked about it for like a week. It was like a week long. I was talking about Rollerball, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, Rollerball is available. So if people want, where's it at? Hold on.
When
if
did
people
it become
want-
available? It had to be available before you were talking about it.
No. It just became available now.
What do you mean now?
Today? I think it was
No.
today. Yesterday or today. Yeah. So you can watch that.
That's gotta be a week
There's
old.
Cobra Kai, but that was kind of a bummer.
So that's why the show is almost not happening.
Yeah. Well, we got to watch Cobra Kai. I mean, but it's a terrible
We
show.
were gonna
It's really-
try it. We
it's
were gonna
really bad.
We were gonna try it and watch it. Be all excited to do like a Friday night. Like, all right, Cobra Kai came out. Here's it. But like since
Dude, I don't know.
Anyway,
remember
I've
this-
only seen. What did we watch? 3 episodes.
I remember this good feeling I got when I watched like the first season of Cobra Kai on like YouTube Red, and it was like it was good, But now,
and second.
yeah,
even
the second
third.
season wasn't bad too. Third season had some
Yeah,
feels, but it was
whatever.
getting. You're like, it's what it is. It's what it's supposed to be.
Fourth was like, oh,
Yeah.
well,
And now we're here.
It's cringe.
Now it's
But
full on.
Anyway, so watched a little bit of that, and so tired today from that, which is not, it's not a good feeling to be
I
tired.
don't know. I felt like
you
what I felt like
wasted
was
your
that
time
the
watching
show,
something.
the show's like jumped the shark, but it's like so many shows. To say, the biggest problem today is Quantum Leap. They're making a new Quantum Leap. That's like the world's.
It could be really good. You never know.
No.
What if they've
This is a
studied
problem.
Scott Bakula,
Quantum
like,
Leap.
on a regular basis?
This is not a good thing to happen. Where is it at? Where is it at? Quantum Leap. Oh, there's no S.
So we might be talking about volcanoes later, but we're going to talk a little bit about
I mean,
important
I
things
just want to talk
in
about
news.
things that are important to me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So Quantum Leap, greatest show ever made, of course. Everyone knows that. But there's a reboot now with the people who decided to destroy Cowboy Bebop, right? And the other,
I didn't
so
know
it's basically
you already looked into
so
that.
like people who fail at things and destroy things are now destroying other things. It's like from the people who destroyed one thing comes another destroyed thing. I don't like that. I don't like that idea. It's like if someone did something like maybe took something that was forgotten and brought relevance to it, particularly a property from the 1800s. I'm all right with that. But if it's from the 1980s and you can still watch actually the real show, then this kind of bums me out. I'll admit that. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should be more open, but this is bad. And they just
Who's the actor? Can I open my computer? Or is it going to cause the systems?
No,
to
you could
fail?
look on your computer at things.
And then I can
Yeah.
actually do what I was going to do.
I don't know what's his name.
If everything shuts down, I will close it. Sorry if anybody's watching this. It's like the middle of the night now.
I mean, because it's like it'd be okay if this was a continuation instead of a reboot. Like this guy is part of the new program. Maybe he's a student that gets into the program or something like that. If the military's taken over, I'd be for it. But there's just they keep bringing people who failed at another reboot, so they don't have any integrity to the IP. And then we're watching them try to fix an IP loss. This is what happened with Cobra Kai. This season, they're trying to get back together people that they got out of relationships in the show and change. They burned all the bridges that were built in the first 2 seasons. And now we didn't watch the first 2. Well, now let's go watch the seasons that people actually liked and try to redeem ourselves. So it's just this tragedy of watching someone who's failed a class try to get
Do you
through
think
the
people
semester.
are just jumping into season 5 without watching other seasons, and then they're going to watch another season if they start in season 5?
I don't know. I mean, it seems to me though that people
I don't think anybody that's watching this has watched probably season 5 of Cobra Kai, so they're just like, what the F are these two
Cobra
people
Kai.
talking
Cobra
about?
Kai did just come out.
Yeah, it did. It came out last night, and so
yeah.
if you're a Cobra Kai fan, you know that.
All right.
I
it is
just
what it
saw-
is. I mean, come on. Cobra Kai makes you feel alive a little bit. This idea that there's
I'm
this
going
like
to
karate
defer
coach
to you
and
from
he's
the
fighting.
rest of this conversation, but Cobra Kai was cool. There's a lot of cool stuff.
They messed it up. I don't know. But
Yeah.
the guy who's in it now, he's like some rich guy. I don't know. It'll be fine.
But anyways, there's other things to talk about.
That's true.
We're gonna probably go to Volcanoes, and also the fact that you got Rollerball available for everybody on Amazon.
Oh yeah, it was me. And
Well, we didn't even finish that. Like, I'd never heard of it.
Well, I just think that
except
now,
for you, like, I'm
just saying it's available now.
When
You
I
can
watched
watch
it,
it,
and it's bizarre. But
I don't think it was just.
Did you show the release date? I haven't been able to log onto YouTube to.
I mean, I'm not. It is what it is. Steve Bannon tells Charlie Kirk 35 MAGA allies got raided day of indictment. So there's been a number of situations like this recently, but it's just a number of execute order 66, I think is what the lesson was here. Let me see. There it is. And so you got all these guys who were taken out. Whatever. I don't know. Not your interest? You don't want to go in there? You want
No. I'm seeing myself for the first time on camera. So.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
So
exciting.
No. It was kind of horrifying. So I saw my delayed reaction to the vision of myself because I can finally see what your viewers are seeing. So
regardless, I've moved past it. How about Strawberry Mansion?
You continue.
Can I talk about Strawberry Mansion? What about Strawberry Mansion?
Sure.
Whoa.
But it wasn't what you were talking about.
No, who cares? But did you watch this movie? You like this movie,
yes.
right? Have you guys seen this movie, Strawberry Mansion? I recommend it, I guess is what I'm going to say. It's a movie with, you've got the musician. You like the musician? What's his name?
Dan Deacon. But you talked about this the other day and you didn't reference the title.
Right.
You said it's about the movie The Dream. So now you're going to tell your viewers.
That's right.
What the movie was about.
I guess. No, you can tell me
Since we're not. No, I thought we were going to talk about Volcanoes.
When did I talk about this? Was that on my show or somebody else's show and I couldn't remember?
Yesterday.
Strawberry Mansion is a show or movie that has Dan Deacon soundscapes and songs in it, and he makes some pretty cool.
The score.
Electronic score, but also songs. There's more than just a soundtrack. It's also
music.
It's the whole sheboingle. But in this movie, people live in a world where their dreams have product placement in it, and they have these starlets and stars who are playing their best friends in their subconscious, and when they go to sleep they see their favorite kinds of peanut butter being eaten on their new machines that they should buy, and so all the product placement. And then if you dream something that's not made by the corporation, you have to pay a tax, right? There's a tax for your dreams, and this guy audits dreamers. And he finds this lady who's been detached from the system. She's off grid. She's got her little old strawberry mansion. And she's been dreaming all sorts of crazy things that she's not allowed to dream about. Right? And so, movie I recommend.
Taxes are due.
And taxes are due. Yeah, because you have to pay for each and everything that you dream.
So it's good time to recommend it now, especially with the IRS.
Yeah, I don't think it was too bad. I don't know. And yeah, Amuro says that Quantum Leap and Sliders should never be touched, and I agree. Like, we should be very careful about what they do to Sliders. But although Sliders is one of those ones where it could be continued on, because look what they did to Sliders.
Can you show people an image of that? They might not know what we're talking about, but they will when they see it with Jerry O'Connell.
One does not simply
Jerry O'Connell and that guy that's
Sliders. See, because look what happens when you do that.
Does he have a twin brother, or was that in one of the shows that he did?
I mean, there's just some weird love scandal that went on with this show. Like, the whole thing, right? Like, that girl was dating this guy, and then there was like there he
is.
There was a little bit of escapades going on.
If you don't remember it, you should watch it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and then what's his name? God,
Jerry O'Connell.
No,
the main guy,
the actor from the show.
Good show, Sliders.
The big guy from Lord of the Rings and everything else, right?
Viggo Mortensen.
John Rhys Davies got in a fight with one of the producers of the show at a pool party. Sliders. Yeah. Well, he was also the producer of like Paramount or whatever. What was the company that they were working with again? It was I forget. Fox or something like that. And anyway, he didn't get to work again.
John Rhys Davies.
He didn't get to work
Rhys
again
Myers.
for like years.
Thank you,
until Lord of the Rings.
John Rhys Davies.
I said that right. John
I thought you said John Rhys Myers.
I figured you might have thought that,
Unless that all right.
But that's not what
happened.
And
starting now.
So do you care about Volcanoes?
I was just thinking about Sliders, but yeah, we could start talking about Volcanoes.
I mean, if you want to think about Sliders, like we could do that. But like I just have this article on iridium enrichment in airborne particles from Kilauea volcano in 1983, and it just felt.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah, if we're gonna start about volcanoes, we can start with. I could pull up a document to share about volcanoes.
Which one? Which one should I pull up?
There's a here. Let me get to Google Drive.
All right.
That I shared. But I like talking about news too. That's good. And I was going to actually talk before we get into volcanoes.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Are
fine.
we allowed to recommend and talk about stuff that's cool like that
No.
on this show?
Never.
Oh yeah, this okay. So
Yeah,
this
you can-
is your first podcast in studio show.
Yeah, right.
This is an experiment at
Coming
midnight.
to you from
So
a
if you are
cabin
here,
in the
seeing
woods.
something that's not going to be here for
No,
probably
this
much
is-
longer.
This is a
So-
temperamental solution.
so
So it might
we're-
work. I might be able to swing that camera just a little bit.
Is it
more.
not even on?
That's good. I just have to like. Oh, yeah, I didn't quite go.
So we're
It is
gonna
what it
trial
is.
this on the recent Tartarians channel, but we're going full bore, and I'll take the floor here. But no, we were watching old puppeteering like 1962 and then 70 something, 70 or 67, I don't know, like Team America World Police, but it was the Thunderbirds and then the other one that was before the Thunderbirds. What was that?
Oh, that's right. What is
So
that?
anyway, I was watching that and listening while I was like cleaning, and I was just
Did they fix that? Not quite. But that's okay.
What?
I just
it's
want-
like pointing at my head, and then you can pull it.
Boulder Dash. Okay.
Oh, hey.
It'll all be fine. I'll make it work.
It's an
again.
amateur setup here.
I like it though because it feels really punk rock.
Yeah,
You know,
everybody
right?
that
Okay.
watches your
So
channel
there's
can
this-
be like, "This is the studio.
This is real life. This is real life.
This is
yeah.
studio."
But you can make amazing things happen.
I'm here
you
to
know.
test out the equipment. So we have
Wait,
what?
you were talking
This
about
is
the
from
Thunderbirds though, right?
Giant. Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Okay, I'm just
Can
gonna
we
pull it up.
can we have an introduction about what's happening?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're just doing this new thing on your channel that's like with 3 cameras and a person's there. So
Humans can assimilate.
that's true.
But
I guess
go
it doesn't
right
no
ahead.
introduction necessary. But I'm guessing hopefully this video is pulled later. For testing all of this equipment, maybe talking about volcanoes, but also talking about some things that are significant that we were looking into. This is the second one, right?
So wait, also,
Okay.
like, I mean, one of the cool things is, oh, you can't see it, but there's a Moog in a couple of these music things. Eventually, we'll be able to play music through this live setup, and so
Ooh.
there's a lot of opportunity here.
I was gonna get the tambourine just because I had never really listened to like headphones and stuff with like mics and like I was
You can
doing
see
like
the
this,
you
like,
can see the dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm very. This is.
All right. Somebody
This is
also
new
asked.
to
You
me.
might know this one. What was the name of the guy that
They
was
can't hear it.
levitating non-metal objects with a machine in his garage? Levitating
That could be
non-metal
Ken Wheeler.
machines in his garage.
So
I don't think so.
he's like a Ferris type of
Levitating non-metal things.
and
in
you can
garage.
make anything magnetic, right? Like ferocity.
I mean,
This
yeah.
is
You
Nathan.
could polarize it,
Nathan.
man. Could it be Jeremiah?
Could you call
the
in?
technician? I
We
don't
could
know
talk about
how
Ferris
you're gonna-
fluids.
I don't
So this is where a Colin helper would be
It's true.
incredible.
That's going to be part of. You
But
can see the
ferocity
future here.
and what is it? That like ceramic. You can have a ceramic can be charged and like electromagnetic. It has a magnetic charge.
Sure, they do
I remember
have
talking
metallic
about this with
glasses
Nathan
now.
when we were on that Vice episode.
But I don't
while
think they were
ago.
talking about something that was like scientifically made in a lab to be metallic glass. They're saying just like normal things. I assume you mean normal things that they could get to float. I don't know which person this is. If anyone in the audience knows, that's awesome. In the chat.
They're an audience. I like
Chat.
that.
Sorry.
I feel like you're my audience, but that's all right. It is an audience. It's a live,
Live
out of studio,
live
world audience.
Live world audience.
Whoa.
Live world audience.
Whoa.
You guys feel like a live world audience? I like that.
That was
It's not
yeah.
so bad. But okay, but you did bring up the show, and people don't know everything about everything. So we're going to talk about some lame shows that are pretty cool. I mean, this is a really old show that you've seen based, what's it called?
Team America, World Police.
Team America World Police. Totally based on this. I mean, exactly this show. And it was all about America and these super agents.
Have
and
you
their
even
puppets.
addressed the music special by Trey Parker? I don't know yet. On your
Did I
show?
mention that? I don't know.
I
We
don't
could
think
bring that up too.
We should. That's
Okay.
the fact that you haven't is kind of offensive to people that.
South Park.
Not right now. Finish what
concert.
you're doing.
No.
Finish what you're doing.
You know what? I like how you want to, in the middle of it,
Sorry,
jump places.
I was
There
the
you
one
go.
that brought
How you
it
feel
up,
about
but you
that?
brought up Team
Yeah.
America, World Police.
No, but there was this new South Park concert that was live, and they did have Primus and Ween, and who else was there?
It was. I don't know. It was great.
Primus, Ween,
They
Rush.
seemed
Rush was there.
authentically. Yes.
I think I did. Bring
Who
this
else
up.
was there? Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed actually with the performances. It was a good
It's
concert.
pretty cool because Butters, Matt Stone performed as Butters in Primus. Like, hey baby, want to go down with me? I can't really do the Butters voice. That one's a hard one. I can do like Shrek or
You can do Cartman.
you can do Cartman. Yeah, I don't know. It's not really the right
That
time.
was good.
It's not really the right time.
We'll have a couple more beers.
This is going to be about volcanoes.
I know.
And now you're trying
No,
to make Cartman. I don't know.
It was me about volcanoes until we realized Cobra Kai was out, and it was like, scratch all that.
It's true. Summertime is weird because right now during summertime, you've got, I mean, people are coming home from Burning Man right
Cobra
now.
Kai.
For perspective, this is like the end of Burning Man.
You should show a little preview of your documentary. No?
People can find it if they care.
Okay,
If they care
fine.
about Burning Man, who cares about Burning Man? But these guys here, they're part of this the Thunderbirds, and they have a secret society, and they're in the military, some sort of new air force that's supposed to help take over the world. And this brilliant dude, what was the deal with him again? He like invented some new system.
Yeah.
Got kidnapped. I don't know. The whole thing. He's the Michael Moore of Team America World Police in this movie. And then what was the other one you saw before Thunderbirds?
Oh, it was numbers. Like, have you seen T955 or 11? Just look up 1962.
1962.
Puppet.
Yeah, 1962.
Something.
Puppet military show. I don't
And
know.
if
Air
anybody
Force.
was watching the show, The Boys.
Yeah, this is it, right? Fireball XL5.
Oh, XL5. That was it.
Fireball.
I thought it was a bunch of numbers.
XL5.
Yeah, the robot was interesting.
With their rocket ship. I mean, so these are pretty cool shows, you know, and you could get your little figurines for
They
the
have
show.
like jet skis that were just like sky skis.
And so the deal is these are puppets that live in space. And they fly around really fast, and they keep the world safe, and they go to the moon and stuff. And I think Venus is involved, which is interesting because the show is before the Russians went to Venus. Oh, you know, colloquially, what are we about to say about that, right? But the Soviet Venus program. It's a fun story, right?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I like this story. This is a good story. Basically, it's the weirdest one that they're saying, hey, we went to Venus, found out it was super hot, everything melted over and over again, and then eventually we got recordings of soundscapes from Venus.
And what years is this?
72, I think. It's like 50 to 72. 58 to 72.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, after the Venera 7 rocket, they're supposed to be able to go 5,000 miles, right? So Venera is the Russian name for Venus.
that's a stamp from the geophysical year. I recognize it.
Yeah, right.
And
Pretty cool, right? You had some stuff on the geophysical year. What are your thoughts?
yeah,
on
well,
the geophysical year?
here's the deal. So I think I will come back, and tonight we'll just tell the people what we will talk about when we talk about volcanoes. Maybe.
Well, I mean,
Unless
I've
I
got
have a little
some-
more wine.
I've got
but-
some good stuff here. Like, do volcanoes erupt? I have like
or
all
do they
these.
erupt versus explode? Yeah, but just rare earth elements. I'm trying to think of what's a good targeting point to make people care, because volcanoes are like, yay, they explode and erupt, whatever. But just comparing like lava, man-made lava, to the natural lava magma chambers, looking at the mapping of those, and lava tubes, the cable array in the seamounts or ocean like volcanoes, Erebus, Antarctica, the nuclear power plant that's built on the volcano in Antarctica in 1954.
Yeah, I've
I
got
don't
this
know.
one. Are you seeing this on your screen? Are you seeing how the
no.
Chernobyl nuclear plant meltdown formed the world's most dangerous lava? I think you.
That's a different. That's a whole another section. This will all be like 20-minute like.
Yeah,
maybe
no, I
talking
mean, if
points.
you got
But
a
just
point, show me which
and then
link I
if
should
people
go
can
to.
think like what they're interested in, just rare earth elements are found at volcanoes. So like iridium, uranium, the Oklo natural nuclear reactors. That's probably interesting for reset.
I'm looking at the
Theorists.
natural nuclear fission reactor here. Uranium deposited where self-sustaining nuclear chain reactions occur.
That's the one with it. And so that there's the 16 others that were found at the site. Yep.
Yeah.
So this will all be probably an organized presentation, starting with like, what's a volcano?
What's a volcano?
Exactly.
Why don't you just tell us what a volcano is now?
Well, everybody thinks it's a thing that's sticking out of the ground and it shoots out lava, but it's really just anything that. Look up. Maybe they changed it. Actually, I probably can't even tell you because of Wikipedia and the world changes definitions. They're changing distances of science, and a volcano. The last time I had checked was pretty much gas, water, liquid, like substance that comes from a vent hole. To broaden the definition, but it's really a broad definition.
Well, it
the
is interesting that
volcano.
there's a lot of these volcanoes are breaking down chemical reactions and having uranium series volcanic rock, application of U series dating to volcanic rocks, providing
Yeah.
unique and valuable information about the absolute timing of crystallization and differentiation of magmas prior to eruption.
Yeah, so I don't want to talk about it all now because this is like midnight on Friday. I can, but nobody. I don't think anybody cares about volcanoes. They probably want to hear you talk about like. I
I
mean,
think
that's
you guys
good
care about
stuff.
volcanoes. I don't know.
But,
I mean,
well,
I'm interested in volcanoes. That's the most
I
important
get
thing,
it.
I think.
I guess it's called LAVALINE.
My choice. I can talk whatever I want. I want to talk about volcanoes. Volcanogenic uranium deposits. I mean, geology, geochemical
Yeah,
processes.
so rare earth
criteria.
elements aren't rare if you look at them in relation to volcanoes. That's like where they come from.
Okay.
So that's interesting. But there's also like volcanic chains, volcanic provinces, volcanic islands, submarine volcanoes, subaqueous volcanoes, which are like half above, half below. Then there's your land volcs and whatever. And so when they're telling you how many volcanoes are erupting at a certain time, in any news article or even in a scholarly article, they might be talking about a certain type of volcano that's erupting at that time. So like they could say today we only know of like whatever, how many active volcanoes do they say? Some articles will say 1,200. Some will say there's like only 2 really significant active volcanoes to worry about. So when they use the term volcano, it really means nothing. It's kind of like bananas, and that's why we started to make fun of volcanoes in Discord and call
What's
them
that
bananas
volcano?
a little bit. But
The volcano.
so
earthquake
everything
website
is in a
you're-
subcategory, and then there's like subcategories within those categories. You have like different kinds of eruptions that happen within different types of volcanic systems and complexes. You have vents and fissures and different things that can erupt in different ways. Then you have your supervolcanic or stratovolc eruptions, which are like nuclear blast or way stronger than the most powerful nuclear blast ever recorded in history, 10 times mega whatever. And so some of those could have been, in my theory, which we will explore, and hopefully my evidence will lead others to help investigate volcanoes, because that's what this is going to be. LAVALINE is going to be like an inquiry into what are volcanoes. Really. Because I tried to figure it out by myself for 3 years, and I'm still not sure.
Yeah,
But I
mean,
have a lot of theories. The first, the narrative is amazing, and it's so incredible, and you will fall in love with volcanoes like I did. See? And then you're like, lava's all you need. And then you're like, oh wait, these ones have salt. These ones have uranium. These are uranium. These are all things that are involved in ancient like power and alchemy. Then you start to question it, and then you're like looking at the inside of a volcano, and it looks like it's literally a chimney. Or you're watching a submarine volcano go off, and you're seeing 3 different colors of gases, gas liquids, whatever is below coming, and it's like black, gray, white from these smokers that are coming from this natural like thing that's occurring. No, it literally looks like it's specific by design. If you look at some of the Woods Hole Oceanographic School, they have like a seafloor base, and they'll show you like the earliest life that's most like human life. These shrimp, and the DNA is like the closest thing to the
what do you
human
mean these
DNA.
shrimp are like humans?
Yeah,
How much like
the
humans?
DNA is the close. It's closer than the ape.
Huh? What?
Yeah.
Let me see this.
What I
What do I gotta look up?
Dude, if we're doing a volcano talk, I have to give you all my
DNA
good videos.
human.
No, you're not gonna find. You have to find a Woods Hole Oceanographic. There's 2 different ones. Subdermal vents. Subdermal vents. Shrimp. It's like a life that
What
can't.
what?
Woods Hole.
Woods hole subdermal.
Subdermal vent. Footage. I don't know. Or submarine vent. I don't know. Underwater. Woods Hole Oceanographic. Do you not have it?
Oceanographic. I see something.
There's
like
2. It's a lady. It's
Hydrothermal
way
vents.
hydrothermal. There you go.
That. All right.
They call them a lot of different things, but yeah, the hydrothermal vents. You don't need to watch it. I think the shorter one though. So before
Whoa,
we
this
do
is
the
co-
show,
this is
Andreas will
copyright.
watch this.
Digital assets
Yeah,
can be non-commercial.
So
Hey, guys,
Andreas
we're
will
just
watch
saying.
this before we do the real show, and
It's
he
for
can
education.
explain to you why the albino shrimp coming from this vent is significant to all of further inquiry about what's coming from these vents.
Well, I mean, so it's not just hot air; it's gases of different materials.
It's lots of different stuff, yeah. But the fact that there's no light to the deepest parts, and then this life is emerging, like literally coming from whatever it is. That's pretty interesting.
There's life coming from
and they've
hot
got
air.
to take samples from it and compare it to the human genetics. Ooh.
Okay, all right.
Interesting story though. Let's tell this story. Have you talked about it on your news how the guy got arrested?
Which one? Oh yeah, I did.
Oh,
Hot dog guy.
Lame.
You can tell
Never mind. No, it's not cool. Not cool. No.
I mean, all right.
I'm glad it's a practice
The
show.
moral of the story is blackstonesancestry.com and don't 23andme yourself into.
Yeah. Oops. Well, deservedly so. Are you
But
looking
having
at
also
this?
said that, it's good. It's a good.
Oh,
thing
and
he
the
was
cable
dumb enough to
array
do that after committing
system
a crime.
below it to monitor like all data. So, the volcanic index and your like atomic blast index and nuclear blast indexes are also kind of linked.
This is cool because the whole thing with the Venus mission, they're like, oh man, it could get so hot. It was just too hot. But I'm pretty sure volcanoes are a lot hotter. So whatever you can make to do this.
The NASA dudes, they're all about going into volcanoes and near volcanoes.
Yeah.
But if you look in like the Strombolis, a lot of those that look like chimneys.
Is that one of those things that clean the snow? Just kidding.
That's a Zamboni. That's a funny joke.
I thought it was.
But no.
Stromboli.
Zamboni. What? Am I wrong? Am I screwing up the name because I'm thinking
you're
of
right.
Zamboni?
I think Stromboli, right? Stromboli.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So you can sometimes like
why
look
does it come up with
inside,
pictures of great, delicious Italian
and
sandwiches? It's the wrong thing.
it has a perfect like ring, and so like to build up, you know what I mean?
Super chat
Whatever
from
it's
Scott
at.
Snell. Hey, Xirtus, were you wearing a mirror suit at Burning Man like 5 years ago? You gave me some Laffy Taffy.
5 years ago?
I ought to not confirm nor deny, sir. I think that's the best course of action there. But I do have a lot of shiny.
Depends on what happened to you after you took it.
Shiny clothes.
Actually,
right?
you need to know more.
I don't know.
Did you have a good time?
I beg your pardon.
That's what I would. I mean, that's what would be my first question.
I think everyone has a good time.
Well, I know, but what if they're like,
When they hang out
you
with
fucking asshole? Oh, shoot.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Really?
What if they're like, you gave me some bad drugs?
Lady, please on the show.
I know.
I'm impressed.
But I was doing it to impersonate someone else.
You know, it's just that Midwestern vernacular I found. That's like a thing here. Missouri, that's like a thing. Yeah.
Radio.
But not Strombolis? You weren't going to talk about Strombolis?
No, I was talking about, yeah, as long as like you're taking this down, because otherwise I should just not even talk
It's a
about it.
little late now.
No, eventually.
You're out there.
After this is over, again, your privy knowledge. But looking at the inside of certain types of volcanoes, it looked like a chimney, but that doesn't mean that it is like a chimney. So you need to inquire further. And that's why a lot of people will say that they're things that they're not, or they'll say that they're waste piles or waste from old plants and stuff, which it very well could be, because that's how they store waste.
Strombolian eruption chimney?
You're not going to be able to see inside of many of the typical volcano that you see that they show you, that shows this lava coming up through a little chimney chute.
Whoa, but these are cool. Are you able to see on your page what I'm looking at? Are you seeing the flumes coming out? Which looks like Fraggle
The
Rock.
other stuff that we'll talk about will be like instant petrification, which changes what we know about fossilization, which might interest your fans as well, or your subscribers or your followers, because that changes the time that it takes for things to turn into stone.
How long does it take? Come on.
It could happen immediately. You don't say. It's called instant petrification. And Stellium, who was supposed to be here but didn't respond to my text, could have been on a panel.
I'm pretty sure
he would be right in the
4 o'clock
bottom
in the morning,
corner.
right?
I know. I told him.
Okay.
It's Saturday though.
4 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be. He would be right. His face would be somewhere on the screen. I'm trying to show it, but.
You'll learn about the space-time continuum. Instant petrified wood.
That.
We're
gonna talk about supercriticality. I'm glad Nathan's probably already left, because he's like, what in the H are these guys doing? But
half of this.
He'll join us on the panel the next time this happens. That'd be great, and you can have a little screen on here, Nathan. We'll talk about supercritical fluids, which blew my mind the first time I found about
what is this supercritical fluid? What do you want to say about it?
Supercriticality
is a substance at a temperature and pressure above its critical point where distinct liquid and gas phases do not exist.
What? Sorry. What? when I found that out, I was like, poof, and Andreas was in like kindergarten. But I
Yes.
found that out when I was like, I don't know, I was like supercritical fluids. What does that mean? It doesn't exist. So, and Nathan was there, and it was like, it was a cool thing when I found out about supercriticality.
Nathan's still here.
That's good. Oh.
He says Strombolian eruptions are the result of an observation of a volcano called Stromboli. Now
Yes.
the lava types that look like Stromboli are classified as Strombolian eruptions. He then says, I'm still here.
Oh.
They just don't read the chat.
We're reading the chat.
Yeah, I know.
I'm supposed to do that. But I don't know what we're really talking about. We're talking about
He's
volcanoes
like, we
and
actually
pop
spent
culture.
3 years digging into every volcanic theory. Don't burn down the metaphor, or don't remove the veil, or
What?
what do you call it where you elucidate the truth? That's what he's
Of
doing.
how much we know about volcanoes?
He's being a little transparent. No, it's
Oh.
okay. No, it's good.
Who-
The whole point,
I am,
though,
or he is? What?
I'm talking to Nathan.
Oh.
Directly. Nathan, but the whole point is that we're trying to
Wait.
bring in people who haven't heard about this yet.
True.
Oh, right.
And this would be the 3 experts right now at this time
Yeah.
that were hired. There's no hiring. That were representative of the Hollow Earth theory
Yeah,
on
Nathan.
Vice.
Nathan, talk to me about volcanoes like I'm 5 years old. Do it.
No, he's also one of the representatives of Hollow Earth theory. I think I'm labeled as lead researcher of Hollow Earth theory
How are you?
here on Earth,
Yeah, I call you
the world.
volcanosopher.
Not true, though. I'm definitely not that. But
You're doing pretty good.
yeah, so Nathan was the other guy, or Amaro. Sorry, what should I not say?
But what about the fossils created by sudden petrification? Because this is something that Stellium does talk about. It's important. We talk about
and
Stellium
the
7's channel. We can do
stone lakes? We talked about that before a few years ago. Things turn to stone instantly. So you think of like a fossil, but like think of anything
Yeah,
like
you
a
know what?
human being turning to stone. No,
We'll
how could that
schedule
happen?
something properly though with Mike. We'll get Stellium on. I think it's
And
good.
Nathan.
Yeah.
And then I'll bow out and I'll watch it from home and I'll be like, yeah, my guys are in
Actually,
there.
I think it's pretty funny the way you know. I'd love to do my next interview that I'm on someone else's channel. I'm gonna do exactly the same. I'm gonna be like, only talk about what I'm gonna talk about next time the whole time, and next time we'll talk about
That's the
instant
plan.
fossification.
This is how we get people back. Yeah, no, like I'm not ready. It's Friday. It's after midnight. I was ready at maybe 8 o'clock.
just to psychologically decondition myself, so I don't realize it's
okay.
happening right now. You know, it's like,
I'm ready to talk about. I could talk about Pat Tillman and Noam Chomsky because that's right here.
Do it.
I mean, I have tons of stuff.
Pat Tillman. Hey, that's a good picture. Show us who
will.
Pat Tillman
I will.
is. No, who is he?
Nobody knows. Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
What is that? Pull it up. Pull it up.
Oh my gosh.
What is it?
Really?
Can you see it from your whole angle there? Oh, you could. Okay. But yeah, you can tell us the story. It's worse now.
You know, it's funny how I found out about Pat Tillman. I have to be honest. I was researching if Noam Chomsky was legit or was a shill. I
Was he
like,
good
I'm like,
or evil?
wait a minute. He told us about propaganda. I never heard of Edward Bernays. So I thank you, Noam Chomsky. Now I know who Edward Bernays is. Then I watch you talk about presidents, and you're like, Hillary Clinton. Oh, I'm going to work on a Noam Chomsky impersonation and come back because it's so easy to do when I'm not on camera. Anyway, so he's going over Hillary Clinton and Trump and talking about how Hillary's the lesser of two evils. And I was like, he's a shill. And so as someone going to psychology before waking up to anything, I was like, whoa, Noam Chomsky, he taught me about Bernays and how he got women to smoke. That's nuts. Kind of like Alex Jones taught me about fluoride and all that. But at the same time, Noam Chomsky, I can't, like, I studied so much of him trying to figure out what the hell, why is he the one that told me about Edward Bernays? Because he seems like just fluffy. Anyway, then I was looking into it, and somehow there was some random link on old YouTube when YouTube was like, you know, uncensored, and we could see just about anything. And I got to watch the Pat Tillman hearings with his brother. It was horrifying. It's kind of like watching the Johnny Gosch documentaries, and stuff like that. But this was worse.
More context.
Because, so back
Johnny
to-
Gosch, because like I know Darth Call just found out about Johnny
Yeah.
Gosch. So more and more people need to know about these things. Who is Johnny Gosch? Why isn't Johnny
Wait,
home?
hold on.
anymore?
We're gonna pause Johnny Gosch.
Okay.
Okay, actually, we'll
That's
pause
fine.
Pat Tillman. So Johnny Gosch, which different night at another time, we'll get into Johnny Gosch. He was the kid that was kidnapped. If you're from like the Midwest, you know about Jacob Wetterling, and everybody still lights candles for Jacob, and they show the man in their van, one guy that's out there, and that's what parents think. They're worried about this one predatorial person, and then You watch the Johnny Gosh documentary. Is it Gosh or Gosh? I always say Gosh. It's Johnny Gosh, but whatever. And you hear his mom, and this is probably 6-7 years ago. I don't even know.
This is
and
like
you
the 80s,
that I watched it. No, that I even knew about it because I was all about Jacob Wetterling here, watching out for a white van like my whole childhood. Like, oh my God, he got taken. He was like 12 or whatever. So same thing for Johnny Gosh. And the documentary was horrifying because it was like the police were involved in it. I'm not saying that myself. The documentary did.
No, I mean, like, the thing is that
and then it led me to the Franklin scandal with the credit unions.
They erased the names of the license plates who were looking for the kids.
Yeah, so essentially they didn't even try to stop it, or they helped the perpetrators. So anyways, then you realize it's like a huge operation. There's not like one guy in a van that's like a creeper. It's like people are targeting children to take them. And if your child's good looking and they're between the ages of, I don't know, 0 to 13, watch out, because that's probably what is the highest paying buck for good looking children and healthy children to either use for whatever.
Right, yeah, and the whole thing, there's the stories with Hunter S. Thompson, Bohemian Grove, photographs of,
And I always thought my friend was crazy that was telling me about that at work, because I knew about like geoengineering and all the other stuff, but I'm like, there's not that happening. So yeah, it's not just the guy in a van. Now, what is interesting about Pat Tillman, let's just say he is a professional football player. People should know the story. Nobody's remembers it. Like, maybe remember Pat Tillman if they're older. What, are you pointing at it or what?
Yeah, I just want to make sure people see the Pat
yeah.
Pat Tillman.
So if you're into sports, you'll know it. If not, probably not. So he's a football player that heard about, 9/11 happens, and he's like, I have to leave the NFL, and I have to go fight for my country, and I have to help. I shouldn't be playing football. Kind of like when I was finding out about pedophilia, and I was like coaching volleyball. I'm like, I can't coach volleyball. There's like children being taken every like second of the day. Anyway, So he left football. I didn't go fight in a war though. I'm trying not. This is me fighting.
You know what though? That would be a good movie. Is a volleyball coach that actually trains volleyball girls to be like assassins, just totally be able to defend themselves, and then just go out and they can. I mean.
But that's like Cobra Kai. We should infiltrate that.
Dude, but volleyball, we need to come up with a name right now so we can trademark it on the air.
They have like Air Bud. It's already
Volleygall.
No.
Volley Cabal. Volley Cabal.
Volley Cabal. Okay, now I might want to do it. Okay, anyway, back to the reason. Okay. Focusing. Pat Tillman. He left the NFL to go fight against terrorism and whatnot. And he was over fighting against the 9/11 attacks, and he found all these peculiar things happening. And it wasn't like what his buddies were.
Peculiar things?
I'm not going to go into detail.
What?
People can watch the documentary.
Were there wood chippers?
So,
sorry.
Wow. For sure, no. There was camaraderie. Anyway, and all these things. Anyway, that's going to be my thing. The annoying thing I do is I'm going to be like, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to.
No, I mean, like, so just for perspective, I had a friend who went to Iraq.
No. Can I tell you the rest?
2 seconds.
Oh, my goodness.
He went into a girl's house, and there's in the girl's room, and she had a poster of, I forget if it was System of a Down or some American band that was popular that year, and a mini disc player with, like, mini disc, which he still has mini disc from, like, because it, like, blew up the whole apartment building. So the perspective of how contemporary and what it was like in Iraq, we don't understand. It was actually a lot like here. A lot more like here than it is now.
Interesting.
But all right.
So the story goes, Pat Tillman's there. He's figuring out, like, oh boy, this is nuts. I think this is like, who do I contact? What do I do? He's trying to get on the internet. He might have had, and this is me speculating, maybe more military privileges because he was like a lead.
Handsome.
He's in the NFL.
Right. No, he's like
he left the NFL. So he's like a celebrity.
Yeah.
People in football watched him play. And that was their relief. And then he came to fight with them. He's like a superhero.
This is going to be like Running Man.
He's like a superhero. So anyway, he must have been like a superhero to them. He's like, who do I reach out to? And he's talking, probably people are like, you got Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky.
Of all the people? Noam
Somebody
Chomsky?
tells him Noam Chomsky because he wrote propaganda. He exposed fake news.
Right.
He did.
Well.
Right? So as I'm researching Noam Chomsky, I find out about Pat Tillman. How backwards is that? I'm like, so then I watch the hearings and I'm just like, what's going on here? To go nuts watching this. He wrote a letter, allegedly, to Noam Chomsky about his concerns about 9/11 being I can't say it on camera, but
his concerns about his concerns
his
about
concerns
9/11.
about
his
9/11
concerns about 9/11.
Anyway, he wrote a snail mail, handwritten letter to Chomsky about that, and I shouldn't be laughing. Hold on, now for a real straight face.
It gets pretty serious.
Yeah, no. Within a very short time period of writing that letter, that may or may have reached Mr. Chomsky. There's also messages, emails, and if you're in the NFL, he might have been able to get a hold of Chomsky. I feel like he did. Regardless, he didn't hear back, and then they're doing a operation shortly after, and he gets killed by a friendly in an accident. And the accident is the hearing I had to listen to. I chose to listen to be like, an accident? How is this accident? So I got to hear his brother and all the people involved in it testify, and it was like not an accident. So he was targeted for sending a message to Noam Chomsky, and Noam Chomsky never told anybody about it and never talked about it.
Allegedly never told anybody.
Well, yeah. So either Noam Chomsky's okay, whatever. He might have something to do with the fact that happened.
Allegedly.
He has never had a video come out where he's sorry, that's how old he's getting now. Where he's come out and said, Pat Tillman, like he should come clean about that if that happened. That's all I want from Noam Chomsky. If he got a letter from Pat Tillman about his concern, and he is supposed to be the face of honesty and telling people the truth about what's happening to them in America and the intellect on that, he should let people know if he did get a letter from Pat Tillman. But Pat Tillman, that's cool to leave the NFL and go try and help people because you think it's noble cause, and you get there, you find out, then you try and help further.
You know who makes me not sad?
And then you get killed. So Pat Tillman, remember his name. Nobody even cares about him. That's important. Hopefully we can bring up people that do things like that.
Pat Tillman.
Yep, that's why I bought that a few years ago. Whoa, there goes the tiger.
But you know what makes me not so sad is when you think about it. There's a guy who's in like the antithesis of Noam Chomsky, and he's dead now. You know, as often happens to humans. But he was a very interesting guy.
Yes.
And you can watch the greatest debate between the two, like Noam versus Buckley. And Buckley's like,
you have to make a face to even sound like William Buckley.
No, just shut your funny face. You know to bucket bucket.
Oh my God,
like
it's
I liked it a lot.
I know.
I'm pretty sure we need more of that in our lives.
It's not. We need more of you doing news and reporting on it, like you are now, instead of people like William Buckley or Noam Chomsky
this
trying
is news.
to.
This is a long time ago. This is just some commentary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pat Tillman is definitely not news. That's 2004.
Stellium put out a video about the jet flame hoax. The idea that planes are just flying around.
I didn't see his video. I saw him post about it. Well, he actually made a video on it.
Super heavy, supposed to be gliding around. Whoa. Can they be holding as much as the compressed air being used?
He personally talks about it, or he mirrored a video?
Well, I mean,
that's going to be
the video right here.
What?
That's
Stellium.
Yeah.
Why aren't you on this promoting this awesome
11
video?
minutes and 11 seconds. I mean, it's definitely his video.
Okay.
So there's no way, right? I mean, so there's a thought. So what do you think, though? What do you think about that? Yeah. So people, for again, this is like for mainstream reality. A lot of people believe that everything is the way we're told it is, right? So I mean, why would airplanes not have as much fuel in them as we're hearing? Where is it all going, or what's the big point there? Why would
they
just
don't need as much to function? Because I didn't watch Stellium's video. I think helium and hydrogen go up, so I think it's a lot easier to get around in the upper atmosphere than they're telling us, especially when you look at the data on the helium and hydrogen content that is up there. It's very hard to get it. So there's very broad statements that say the upper atmosphere is predominantly helium and hydrogen, which is very lofty. Think about helium balloons.
Well, when Stellium wakes up, he's going to have to come and defend his claims.
No, because nobody's going to see this video except for this few people that happen to tune in tonight. This is coming down.
There's a decent amount of people here.
I would like to prepare.
At least 3.
For the first show that we do. And no one can ever talk about this again. It's kind of like Fight Club. You don't talk
testing
about
of shrimp
LAVALINE.
can definitely do the wrong thing. I got a guy who wants to test a shrimp that was in his cereal. Being social generates larger genomes in snapping shrimp. This was interesting. You found a study on virility of egg, sperm, and blood.
It was the weirdest.
And gene reproduction. I saw it was actually an extension of this about with drugs. And,
I can't remember what it was. Yeah.
well, in general, like
So I was looking. Yeah, it was crazy. Stimulants. I was wondering, do stimulants do anything to to eggs or sperm? Do they like hypercreate?
yeah, I mean, like
because
the
they
entire
say-
reproduction of
yeah.
our society is everyone's being drugged in different ways.
I thought
How's that
that's a
affecting
d-
the
I mean, that's a
reproduction of the
dumb-
population?
Dumb basic thought that anybody would think, and then I looked into it a little bit, and I was like, I really wonder. And so I found like 3, 4, 5 studies talking about how it increased not the genetic structure, but the amount, so the number of sperm and their mobility, how able they were to swim, were both increased with a certain stimulant used to treat ADHD. Then I wondered how that impacted young adolescent males and sterility and early puberty or whatever it would do. So yeah, that's what I was doing instead of focusing on. What did we watch? What's that show? Cobra Kai. I'm trying to forget about it.
No,
So
but
yeah,
it's an interesting
in
thing to
between points, I was like, I gotta find out. I have to understand this because, like, they say sperm or sperm. They say THC, hydrocodone, oxycodone, whatever, heroin can damage or delay sperm cells. They're trying to make everybody sterile. So that was interesting that type of medication can cause like hyper fertility.
Yeah, but it also can cause like all sorts of biological problems in reproduction of the gene. So you can cause quicker aging to the cells. It's not as good for the eggs. There's all sorts of
That was the extended study.
Yeah. So it's interesting because there's all of these people all over the world are on all sorts of different substances that are being prescribed.
And these studies came out 2019, 2020 that they were heavily publicized, which is so 2020, 2021 over COVID.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the big publications like the Earth climate data that maybe we'll get to sometime on climate change and volcanism on a different time. Again, this is a show called Next Time. Next Time with Andreas and Brittany.
Tonight on Next Time. Yeah, that's not bad.
For real, that'd be the best show. But then next time we could talk about
that would
next
be
time
the
we could
best
really
show.
talk about what we're talking about this time.
I mean, there's some stuff here though that I'm just gonna make you get through anyway.
That's fine, as long as you tell me we're going to delete this.
What's the difference between magma and
For
lava?
real.
What's the difference between magma and lava?
So magma would be before it's ejected or exploded or erupted. It's like below in a chamber. It doesn't become lava until it's been.
So you're trying to tell me there's no such thing as a lava lamp. There's only a magma lamp unless you break it. Is
I
that
guess you could say that, yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
But do you know what's even more interesting? Like magma chamber dimensions are similar to nuclear power dimensions.
What does that even mean? They're similar to nuclear power dimension. What is that? What do you even? What?
I'll tell you
That's not a
later.
secret?
I'll tell you later.
What?
And same with the boom and the volcanic index and the explosions of nuclear powers.
That's not even an answer.
And same with all the elements that exist in these power plants. And if you are into reset and mud flood theory, which this is what I want to say, if I ever got on your show, if I ever got a spot on the show, I want to tell people.
Okay, so if this ever happens, this is what you're gonna.
Okay, so next time I'm on your show, when you're researching the truth, it gets really dark, which we got there. Like Pat Tillman, Johnny Gosch, that was dark. I was like, do I want to live? I watched There Are No Forests on Flat Earth. I was like, what? It was very sad. I was like, I couldn't breathe. And then it was like you and Max Egan were talking about mud flood reset, Max Egan theory. And so that was intriguing because there's a lot of evidence there. And if you look into the most recent reset and the reset before and the reset before, then we can actually track something that we can kind of look at still. And so it's kind of important to do that. And that's why volcanism is interesting, because that's what we're kind of looking at, is getting factual information about the reset mud flood history.
Wow, Nathan for $20 sending us, which I think is $6 in 1996 money, Sterilization is not permanent in the future, but fertility may be granted to those deemed worthy. Look at vasogel.
Vasogel?
Vasogel?
Look it up.
What is this vasogel?
From Nathan or from Amro?
From Armoro.
You're definitely going to delete this because now we're outing people.
Oh, it's okay. He was on TV. It's a little late. He's got an IMDb. It's a little late.
Oh, does he?
Can do.
Did we make it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vasogel? What am I looking at here?
It's a trap.
Long-acting, non-hormonal, and reversible contraceptive hydrogel for men. This is such a Pacific Northwest kind of problem.
I wish Nathan could call in and tell us this.
Don't do this, dudes. What
is it?
It looks like Vaseline in your
No, this
tubes.
but this looks like it makes you fertile after you're like.
Do you believe? You believe that this is going to be safe?
Look
I don't
it.
know. Oh,
Let's look into it.
What's that movie with Rodney Dangerfield
Next.
as a dog?
The show's going to be called Next.
Dangerfield dog movie.
Dodgerfield.
Dodger- dog in Dangerfield?
No. It's. Why do we watch it? Why are you doing this?
Because somehow, whenever I think about them trying to sterilize men, I just think about all these poor dogs that they've sterilized, and they're, you know what I mean? It just feels bad to think of, don't do that to us. Don't do it.
Okay.
Leave us alone. Leave us alone.
Anyway,
Okay.
it might be linked to pharmaceuticals, is all we're saying. And interestingly enough, it might help people get pregnant, especially
this
if they
gonna
have
help?
ADHD.
What?
No, that was what the study said.
Yeah.
Technically, if you're taking ADHD meds,
If you're taking
you have
Adderall.
an extreme. No, it wasn't even Adderall. It might have been Ritalin. I have to look back. That's why this is not a real show. This isn't a real show.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll get the data. We'll come back.
That's really great.
It's because it's
Really
either
great.
it's one or the other. So people that are like prescribed.
I mean,
meds
well,
are
because
like,
they are different. Let's look at the difference. But
why don't you guys look it
Adderall,
up? Okay,
No,
we're
but
not
you-
here to give you any information.
You know that Adderall has 15 different kinds of stimulant phenethylamine analogs in it, right? So it's made up of
The
a
one
number
that
of
they
different things.
studied that was predominant that had this effect has been
Indeed.
researched. So it was like good for a certain time period to help increase your chances of getting pregnant, or not getting pregnant, of making a baby, of producing sperm.
Well, what about radiation? Is that a bunch of hubbubaloo? What do you think about all that? What do you think about that jazz? I don't know.
I don't know.
I've got this thing.
Are birds real?
Forbes.
Nukes are fake and so are birds.
Real? How are
We
birds?
should do this. We should take the time to look. Let's
Are
look
birds
into it.
real? Is so much
Look
better
into
than
it.
is
Look
the
into
Pope
it.
Catholic?
What can you find?
Is the Pope Catholic?
We should
became a
race
bird
to see who
real?
can find the best evidence that birds are not real.
What? No. Let's do how the Chernobyl nuclear plant meltdown formed world's most dangerous lava.
Okay.
Is the Pope Catholic? Is the Pope a real bird? All right. So I mean, have you? This is like an article that you found. What was the reason you wanted to share the plant down's most dangerous lava? You're saying that it created lava.
They'll call man-made lava, like, so a nuclear reactor will be considered
The printer.
considered
You'll
the
be okay.
same components as lava. Yes,
Okay. in other
almost
words, what?
identical. Like this lava from this volcano is the exact same as the lava that came from Chernobyl. It's the same elements,
Well,
which
that-
is interesting, I guess, for some people, but only in like episode 3 after we've talked about volcanoes to explain how that could happen in a meltdown. Then I can go into the blast similarities
Seems like
between
you have a lot
them.
of rules here. Okay. Well, okay. So this is a.
Well,
This
starting at
this
8
does look
p.m.
like lava.
At 8 p.m. was one of the rules. Now it's after midnight. So
If you want to make God laugh,
it's our trial.
you tell her your plans. But this does look like lava. I give you that.
I
So
never even saw that. I've never looked at this.
You've never typed in
I've never actually seen
nuclear
an image.
plant
I'm looking.
meltdown lava.
I only look at data and I only read it like it has to be very technical, just
Well,
very.
technically, that does look like lava.
Any image I'm seeing could be like
I'm
fabricated.
going to go to the Wired page because I bet you there's something here. The most dangerous man-made lava flow. So it does come from something you might have read. This is a connected idea. Man-made lava is a real thing, and it is created in one of the most dangerous situations known, during the reactor core meltdown of a nuclear power plant. This rare variety of lava named corium has incredible properties which scientists study to better understand and protect people and the environment in case of the unthinkable.
So yeah.
So this is nuclear lava? What's the difference then? Because is it radioactive? Is all lava radioactive? I mean, it seems like it's different then.
Some studies will say no, and some studies will say yes. If you look up our are volcanoes radioactive? They're like, volcanoes are not radioactive. Then you'll be like, volcanoes are radioactive because they do this and this and this. And you find this and this and this. And uranium is at like these certain volcanoes. And uranium as it decays or as it blasts at the instant blast stage is. And then they say that nuclear fallout can happen from volcanoes. But if you're erupting uranium and you're at a volcanic site that has deposits of uranium, then it's similar, the same thing, very close to, yeah. So it's just, you have to look into every single volcano, essentially each eruption, the history, and there's like millions. So, yeah. I have the back arc of the Mariana Trench data on volcanoes and volcanism, though, and that would be really interesting to look at next time.
What's so interesting about the Marianas Trench?
Every trench, like the ocean trench. What do we have for like ocean anomalies? Every ocean anomaly has been mapped throughout history by every reset oceanic or historic group, every scientist. So if you want to find that information, you have to search within those groups to find it, which is what I did, and I have all the books on it. So, and if you want to get the back arc data for the Mariana Trench, you can download that, but you have to pretend to be a volcanologist and pretend to be using it for the volcano Google Earth data that you need to write your dissertation on volcanoes. So I have that as well. You might be able to get it, but I got it as a scholar of psychology. Instead, I was switching my degree to volcanology because it was related to the psyche or something. I made up a story, but anyway, I got the KMZ overlay for Google Earth, and it's interesting.
Hey Julia, says for $20, make Lava Lounge a weekly segment. I love
Lava Lounge.
I love you guys.
Lava Lounge. Did you say Lava Lounge?
Lava Lounge. Yeah,
I like that.
I like that too.
Lava
I like
Lounge?
Lava Lounge. I like the idea of having a lava lamp. We have to set the lava lamp
we have
up.
2 lava lamps. Actually, look it. I have a lava lamp. Can you see it? Can people see it?
Oh, that's true. You do
Can
have
you
that little lava lamp
Is it,
right there.
Can you clip to my camera? Is that showing?
Yeah, it is. You
This
should be able
isn't
to
a
see it.
real one.
It's hard to see with your hand in front
Oh,
of it.
I
It is there.
was trying to show people, and it's delayed.
Mm.
You still see Pat Tillman.
Oh, I think
Yeah, you definitely can't see it. Okay, we have a little lamp, and we have a big lava. We have 2 big lava lamps here at this house, at the studio.
my word.
Studio.
Well, is there anything else you wanted to cover?
No, I just wanted to make sure the microphones worked, and we could talk about volcanoes sometime else,
Okay.
and
That's fine.
news, and
Was there any other news that you were thinking of those important?
you were gonna do your fan
that's
mail.
a good point. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't do that.
Thank you for that.
And like, I think Andreas should go on like Fridays or like different times of the day too, like an evening show. That'd be. Can I just pitch it?
What does that even mean?
I'm pitching you to your followers
Yeah. Okay.
because we need that.
Well, guys, I did get some mail from you all, and I'm really grateful. I wanted to make sure I showed that. Some of this I kind of mentioned before, but I want to take a little bit more time to focus on. So, Richard got like a bunch of your awesome cards here. Those are the earlier ones, but I've got the new ones as well. And let me see here. Where's the one? Andreas, been here yet? It's history. Check it out. And so, another nice spot on the map there of Hager's Fancy, the original fieldstone dwelling of Captain Jonathan Hager, which was erected in 1740. A bunch of good ones there. And then, yeah, Keenan, when you sent me these, I was really stoked. So thank you, Keenan. I think it's the 3rd time I tried to like really go through them. But it's hard to pull them out because they're like built into a little book. So I'm going to try to fold them a little bit clearer this time. Here's the White House. Capitol Building. Lincoln Memorial. You know. There, see, and that's when they get a little harder to open up the bridge too. But I think on the other side then, right, okay. Then you've got this part, which was this called? The Vietnam Veterans Memorial, right? And then the Mount, is this, no, what is this? The George Washington Memorial? I forget which one that is. Anyone remind me if this is the Mount Vernon Memorial? It says on this Mount Vernon, Virginia, home of Washington, but I don't recall if that's the correct name for this plot. Could be wrong. And the National Museum of American History, Smithsonian Institute. Can you see that? Is that working? Good. The old obelisk. You know, So that's pretty cool. So Keenan, thank you for sending that. And then what I didn't show before that you sent were the stickers. And so here are some cool stickers, which is like, I feel like I know that bird. It feels very like Don Bluth as a character. A little bit of that turtle earth, but also turtle space, which I think space turtle is key. And then I don't know what these pigs are doing.
Those are sweet.
The ice cream pigs. This is based, and I can put it on a skateboard. And
What?
I better do that. And then this is like a you don't hate Mondays, you hate the predator, I think, or
Put
something
that on your laptop.
like that, which I like.
You have a new suit. Oh,
Sorry, what?
I thought you were done. Keep going.
Well, there's more. There's always more.
That's exciting.
Hold on, let me put this back. There's also, this is not blackmail from
But it is, because it's black.
I think this is from Joy. So Joy, thank you for sending this. And it's got Fort Delaware, which looks amazing.
Star 40.
Places you guys are going to want to go. And actually on the back, it doesn't say it here because I opened
Looks
it
like
already.
a Star Fort.
It's in the message here. It says, this is totally not a castle with a moat, right? And it's a castle with a moat. And there's I mean, it's very clearly inside the Star Fort, a castle as well. So thank you very much, Joy. Much love to you. It says, patience, this may take a while. Love what you're doing and couldn't be happier to be here for it. And I agree. I feel the same way. So thank you very much for sending me that and a number of awesome other postcards as well. The Fort Delaware Brass Band of 1863.
Ooh.
Dude, I mean, imagine these guys getting paid like 16 cents or something, which was probably actually way more significant at the time anyway, but they were able to get a whole band to play. Like, that's a lot of guys.
I definitely would
to
have been in
pay
the
for
band. But
You
I
get
couldn't have
one-
been. Could I have been in the band as a woman?
Probably, yeah, I don't know. Probably. If you could
That
play
would've been
if you could
fun.
play the horns at that
I would
time.
want to beat on that.
Fort
Really wanted,
Delaware, gun placement.
Caves? Was it a cave?
No, it's like the inside of the Star Fort, inside of it. So I'm assuming
Looks
she
like
went to
a cave
the
basement.
actual
It's cool.
Star Fort. I can't be sure, but I see. Adventure Aquarium, New Jersey. New Jersey. And the Adventure Aquarium. I do need to go to the Adventure Aquarium in New Jersey. Haven't done that yet. But I do have the
I think
Monterey.
everybody needs to go
I've been
to
to
the
the
Adventure
Monterey-
Aquarium in New Jersey.
The Monterey Bay Aquarium. So
Let's not
I've done
kid
that.
ourselves.
And then this is the Museum Philadelphia Franklin Institute of Science, which is cool too. So that's pretty sweet. And then I think I covered
Well,
bases here. Andreas, around the country, Fredericksburg, masked stuff. Hard to read part of this one, so I'll have to
is that
decrypt
Richard?
it. Yeah,
Okay.
I got a bunch of good stuff.
You got a super chat from Nathan that
Oh,
is
another one?
pretty juicy. We'll see.
Let me see if I can. Is it gonna let me see the thing?
Says news no one heard. 2030
read
is
it.
not the end of the plan. Vision 2050. Check it out.
Oh yeah, well.
Did you talk about that?
No, but 2076
Whoa.
is really.
Should we go there?
If you type in 2076, type in Freemasons 2076, you'll find what I'm talking about. Which ain't bad.
What is he talking about the 2030 though? To elaborate.
I mean, well, the Agenda 21.
Yeah.
Agenda 30,
2020.
right? And then Agenda 30 is Neuralink is in 26, and after 26 into 2030 is when the integration of AI, when we have integrated humans into AI.
2076.
2030 is when transhumanism really begins properly in proper terms, because that's when we're able to integrate. And then 2076 is the next generation. So it's been 2012 to 2076 is the long jump, which is like a 4-generation jump or whatever you think of, but it's really one super Masonic generation, like a grand generation, because you're really counting your, it's like 4 score or something like that.
So they have the movie on that yet?
As a movie? What?
Do they?
No.
2076?
No, but I mean, like, if I didn't just make all of that up,
Like
we just trademarked it, right?
1776,
No,
yeah.
but it's actually, it's
Pigs in space.
It's just real life. That's what's coming. 2076. Be scared. Okay. Well, we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for, trying this
If
with
you
us.
were here, feel privy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Tell them
we'll do
next
this again.
time.
We'll do this again.
We'll do this again. We'll have it polished next
Yeah.
time. Now that we got the audio, and we'll get a format, and we can talk about volcanoes for real.
It's going to be great.
Did you wave and I didn't get a chance?
I did. I just waved.
Was it-